welcome to Walk on Wednesday, except for it's not Wednesday, it's Thursday, because I lost track of time yesterday, and honestly, just didn't have a chance to get on here and do our little walk on Wednesdays. But it's going to be a beautiful day, and I know some of you like to listen to these videos while you're walking, so I wanted to record it this morning just so you guys would be able to have it to still be inspired. And since we've technically gotten through the hump because it's Thursday, we're just gonna chat a little bit and make it till Friday. But here's a little Thursday motivation for you. I'm just gonna hold my phone because I was flickering before. So I was basically I was recording my podcast this morning, and I ended up saying, in the podcast, sometimes you have to jump before you fly. You cannot fly before you fall. And then it clicked, and I was like, oh my gosh, you cannot fly until you fall. And then I'm walking around going, you can't fly until you fall, like a movie, when you have a revelation. And so I was like, let me talk about that. I know this is weird. I never hold my phone. I usually use a tripod, but this is a situation we're working with this morning. So anyway, so I'm thinking you can't fly before you fall. And what does that mean? So to give you guys some context, I've had a very rough past 2 weeks. And basically at the start of this week, I decided I'm going to turn off my phone, and I'm going to get really God-centered. I'm going to pray. I'm going to focus inward and ask God, do you want me to jump, or do you want me to back away from the ledge? And basically, I was like, I'm not going to be distracted from social media. I'm not going to be distracted from shopping. I'm not going to be distracted from all the things. I'm going to hop on and do my social media responsibilities, like letting you guys know about the podcast and things like that. But I got to stop. So am I looking at you guys? Okay, hopefully. So, the whole recording situation's weird, but we got it going on. So anyway, as I'm doing that, I'm focusing inward, and I pretty much get my marching orders from God. It is revealed to me over the week. Every step, every day, I get closer to making a decision. I get closer to see, clarity is coming. And then yesterday, clarity came. And I kind of figured out, okay, this is what we need to do. This is what I have to do. This is what God's telling us to do. And it made me realize something about life. 2 things. God says, don't worry about tomorrow because today has enough problems of its own. Also, don't focus so much on having all of these things figured out and planned out. And, God laughs. There's a saying that God laughs whenever we make plans. And I think that's true. And even if you think about the Israelites in the desert, when they tried to save manna, if just some backstory, manna fell from the sky. They basically had this food from the sky. And if they tried to if they didn't believe that God was going to give them manna the next day, and they tried to basically hoard it, store it for the next day in case God didn't show up, it got rotten, and it was full of maggots, and it was gross and disgusting, right? So that gets me thinking about my life and life in general, and how obviously it's important to grow up and have savings. I'm not saying that doesn't mean that you can go blow your stimulus check if you get one. What I'm saying is that I've been so concerned about well, if we make this decision in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years, am I going to regret this, or that, or whatever. And the thing about faith, and the thing about God, and the thing about life is that without risk, there's no reward. Without trust, if you don't trust God, your life is going to stay in the same lane, and it's going to be really freaking boring. That's what I'm going to tell you. And so, what I have decided is that in order for me to fly, I'm going to have to fall. You know how when you see birds jump off a cliff, and my arms are limited because I'm holding Elliot, but you see them, they do this dive, and then they go up. That's kind of how life is, right? How you you take a step and you take like a little risk, and you kind of feel like you're falling, and then you fly and you soar. So when I'm thinking about life, if you're like on a downward trend, like if life is really hard, or if you're making a decision and you're like, God, I really want to trust you. I trust you with my life, but, well, then you're not trusting God with your life. If there's ever a but, then you're not trusting God, and you need to let go of that but. So for recently, with the decision we've been making, and like with my family, I'm going like, God, I know you want me to do this. I know I've been praying about this. I know I've been dreaming about this. But, and that but is what is going to hinder you, limit you. And it's also limiting the opportunity. Oh, I just got chills. So like, that means like God's, ooh, I'm feeling it. Anyway, is going to limit like your opportunities in life, and you know, whatever is going to happen. So I've decided I'm going to go ahead and jump. God, catch me. If I don't have wings, catch me. And I'm not like tempting God. This isn't the situation where the devil's tempting Jesus and is like, just jump from this ledge and God will send angels and you won't hurt, like fall down. Like, no, that's not what I'm doing. I'm not saying God. I'm not saying like tempt God, like, you know, taunt God. I'm not saying to do that, to say, God, I'm gonna do it and you better come through. Like, no, I'm saying like after prayer, well, I don't really fast right now because I'm breastfeeding and I don't want to mess with my milk supply, but I have like fasted from social media, like fasted away from my phone in like a different sense. I feel like I've been breastfeeding or pregnant for the past like long time, guys. But anyway, so when it comes to trusting God, there's a couple of things I want to say about it. And one is that in order to fly, you have to be willing to fall and to know, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And all week I kind of got this the same message of, you know, when you're young, you don't know, so you do. And those doings and doing those things can change your life. And as you get older, you get more and more afraid. You get more and more scared. As you get more responsibilities, there's more risk. So anyway, I just want you, if you've been working through, praying through, asking God to show you signs through, or like whatever, and you're afraid to take the next step, whether it's to, you know, maybe start a small group, maybe it's to, you know, apply for a leadership position at work, maybe it's to do something crazy and big like I'm trying to do. If God's given you the green light, then go. You know what I mean? The enemy wants to slow you down and stop you. But when God says go, it's time to go, regardless of what everyone else is doing around you. Also, if you feel like you're on the downward trend, like my life is just spiraling downwards and it's not good and I can't control it and I don't know what's happening, maybe you're about to fly. Right? But that flight, you got to fall a little bit. And I'm going to tell you guys, these last 2 weeks, I have been falling. And literally, I was on the ground crying my eyes out on like Sunday or something. Or maybe it was Monday. And I was like, I can't be back in this place. And then to be where I'm at today, where it's like, well, you know, my steps are sure. I know what I'm doing now. It took crying. It took praying, it took fasting, but I know what I'm doing. And I'm using the word fast lightly because I think fasting is a very serious thing, and people who are doing it the right way, good for you. I'll do it one day, not today, when this baby eats real food. But anyway, I just want to tell you, I'm going to call it Trot on Thursday because we didn't have Walk on Wednesday, but I just wanted to encourage you, like, when it comes to life, we all get caught in this like monotony and in this cycle of doing what you're supposed to do and doing what the world tells you to do. But as Christians, that's not what we're called to do. We're not supposed to be like the world. We're supposed to be like God. And it's always going to be hard. Following God is always going to be an uphill battle. It's never going to get easy. There's always going to be something, but it's so rewarding. And I just wanted to encourage you that whatever you're going through, God's got your back. And if you're falling, maybe you're about to fly. So I'm going to go ahead and put my little foot over the ledge, and I'm going to go ahead and fall, and hopefully I fly. But Hopefully that metaphor makes sense. Hopefully this made sense. No, this recording is weird and the situation is awkward, but I wanted to tell you guys that. So there we go. Happy birthday.